good song. It's always a good
Fantastic
song. I mean,
work this morning.
you can't miss a good song, particularly if the lyrics are right, if the syncopation and the arrangements are right, if the melodies and the harmonies are right, if the instrumentation is right.
I mean, for me,
if
it's
the solos and everything is
that's the
right,
words,
the
right?
bridge, the lyrics. That's what we call it in music. I mean, Charlie, it's
very well written music.
Very well written piece of music. And Charlie, good morning to the pastors of Glorious Jesus, as I like to call them.
You don't like to call them daughters?
No. They're now they are pastors.
Yeah, because they were preaching to us.
Now they wear the clerical color, so they are pastors of Glorious Jesus. That's what I've been calling them for more than 15 years. Yeah. Okay.
Big banner story this morning. I have the Daily Guide and a few other papers. A lot of legal related matters, but the big one says buffer stock case, Deputy AG Iyoko Boss sing different tunes. As a picture of Raymond Archer and Dr. Justice Shremsai. Raymond Archer was on one of the political shows from the weekend. It's the first time I've heard him speak in sincerity, explaining the processes and all of that. Some bits and pieces of it made sense. Some parts I felt made it come off as though he was the only individual who was working at the Yoko, which wasn't the case if you listen to him in the completeness of his submissions. But it does suggest a lot of work is happening, but also it raises questions as to the processes and all of that. But I'm sure we can get into that when we get into the story as well. Gift Your Worry goes to Supreme Court over witness list order. That's also on the front page. 3 killed in Konongo crash. It's an accident yesterday at Konongo, and positive
the earlier
news.
numbers we had were 8, but now we know that 3 have been confirmed.
Yes, and we'll go there this morning as well, even during this news review segment, to get an update as to the situation. Positive news: Ghana Publishing Company records 16.9 million cedis profit in 2025. Nana Kwesi Boate, he's been here a number of times, was speaking about what he wants to do and achieve his time at Ghana Publishing, and it's positive to see that he's recorded 16.9 million cedis in his first year. And this one will interest a lot of people. Juju gun protection fails man. The man says that he has the powers to...
The Agbala fell apart.
Absolutely. And he was being ferried to the hospital.
In fact, if I was in my element, I was in my element back in the day, I would say Agbala Ehani Pala.
Nana Kwabnaotri was claiming he is bulletproof without a bulletproof vest.
Agbala Ehani Pala.
Epala. And he was being carried to the hospital even with the herb still in his mouth. You know, they put the few things in his mouth. And so there's a picture here on
Agbala Ehani Epala.
On the front page.
Ashilela.
Ashilela. We'll get details of that. We'll get details of that as well. The Catalyst newspaper, Sami Jemfi to upon Krum over BOG lost claims. My brother, you lied. Apologize and let's move on. Pebu rips into dummy is also here. Mahama Cares represent hope for families. That's according to the CEO, and DVLA clarifies legal path for vehicle ownership transfers when sellers cannot be traced. The last one, the Hawk newspaper. They're the new ones, but they say established in 2016.
Well, but the Hawk has been around for quite some time.
For some time.
Yeah.
In and about the place. Drop out or face Baumia Roth. Aspirant warned of challenging preferred candidate ahead of 2028 race. Who is Atuforsin really working for? Is a question they are asking on the front page. And there's I don't know, the things that they used to print, it has stained the front page of the newspaper very brightly.
It is overflowing.
The ink is overflowing. Max gang ambushes NPP vice chair after mediation. Jinapor sets Q3 deadline for stable Kumasi power supply, and dance of death Man kills self in gun stunt at funeral. Oh, it looks like it might be the same person who has suffered death in this instance. It's the same person. Nana Kwabnaotri.
Tell him.
So the Daily Guide said, yeah, the Gbala failed him.
Yeah.
But he actually failed him and led to his death.
Yeah.
He's the
Charlie.
Mrantehini of the Ayamfree traditional area.
Oh, Charlie.
And he was doing a gun stunt and...
Killa Asala. Biane Ashilela.
Oh, I thought he was just hospitalized and then he will learn a lesson from it.
This no be Mo Salah. This is Killa Salah. Agbala Ehani Epela.
Unfortunate.
Ashilela.
Unfortunate. Those are the...
Biane Egbo Eye Wala.
Oh,
I just did a small piece for him.
small rhyme scheme.
Small
for
rhyme scheme, Charlie. I gave it
I
to
am
him.
free.
May he rest in
Nana
peace.
Kwabnaotri.
Next time when he comes, he'll be wise. He has not been wise. Anyway, the Daily Graphic this morning says legal education procurement reform begins. It comes with a photo of the president, flanked by the deputy chief of staff and the chief of staff, and also some top government officials in the clerk to parliament, Mr. Jatro. WASI SC begins or starts tomorrow with oral English language. And it says London is the capital of Britain. London is the capital of Britain. He shot the ball. He shot the ball.
He borrowed my newspaper.
He borrowed my newspaper.
And so we all have memories
We have gone through it.
of doing the oral English.
Yeah, London is the capital of Britain. Hey, Charlie.
And you have to listen and determine
Yeah.
which sentence is actually
the punctuations and all of that, Charlie. Those of you the 33 instead of 33. As global fund wanes, Ghana to fully finance vaccines, critical medicines, according to the finance minister, Dr. KCL Atuforsen. Heat Goldfields clears workers' arrears at Bogoso Prestia mine. On the back page, it says existing Accra-Kumasi highway is priority as new expressway. Roads Minister assures governs Kwame Agboja. Hard-working roads and highways minister with his deputy Alhassan Suhini there in the photograph with some engineers. A great minister inaugurates 25 solar-powered irrigation facilities in 3 regions. We have heard this thing before. 25 solar-powered irrigation facilities in 3 regions.
which are the regions?
Pwalugu is still on my mind, but
you visited there
yes,
recently as well.
not indeed there. It's in fact so the northern region, northern Savannah and upper west region. Strangely, they took upper east out of it. Charlie, Kunzo, your people there, them go fill it. Daily Post. New office for value for money will cut contract padding and reduce public spending, according to Dr. Kesiel Atuforsen. Mahama signs legal education reform bill into law, ending Ghana School of Law's 66-year monopoly. President Mahama there holding aloft the signed bill after signing it into law yesterday. The finance minister is also right behind the president. You know that the fiscal responsibility law, or value for money law, I should say, was also accented into a full law yesterday. Ghana Medical Trust Fund to roll out nationwide patient support program in June. Comes with a photo of the woman in charge, the administrator, Adjoa Obobia Dakun Opoku. Okay, nothing on the back page. Now, the National Enquirer newspaper says Tema Oil Refinery eyes West African crude for recovery. MD of Tor is pictured here, Edmond Combat Esquire. Also, Mahama Cares invests 36 million Ghana cedis in specialist training. And Mahama breaks 66-year legal education monopoly, signs reform bill. Julius Deborah honors Agonia Kwenyako Deba COCOBOD unveils new cocoa funding model. Dr. Randy Abe is CEO of COCOBOD, and Bank of Ghana pushes Africa's digital finance agenda. That's what we have here on the front page of the National Enquirer. Those are the three papers that I have here, Mawena.
And I think we can begin to get into the details. The big one
is the law school,
the
legal education. Well, there's a story on the front page of the Daily Graphic. It's captured on the front pages of most of the papers. This is by Kester Aburam Kranchi and Dinah Mensah. It says the President, John Dramani Mahama, has signed the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025 into law, bringing an end to the 66-year monopoly of the Ghana School of Law over professional legal education in the country. Also signed the Value for Money Office Bill into law, a move that government says will fundamentally transform public procurement and rein in the rising cost of public sector contracts. That's what we have there. So President yesterday signed two different bills, but the big one that has got everybody talking is the legal education bill that has been signed into law. And if I listen to Roxanne Eti Nelson Dafio, he says that, well, it could start anytime soon. In fact, it takes effective immediately. It takes effect. It takes effect immediately because that monopoly has been enjoyed for a very, very long time. Entrance exams. I know that a lot of people who are currently fresh lawyers, or people who have gone through the law school, or people who are still in the law school, would have their own version of their testament to say about
stories upon stories.
Entrance exams. You don't know your fate. You are always scared, and sometimes you are looking at the whether the availability of the slots for you, whether there's space enough to accommodate the theming number of persons who want to come into the law school or want to become lawyers through the Ghana School of Law.
Yeah.
In fact, now he says that the faculties want to be known as schools of law.
Yeah.
So they also want to say, so maybe UPSA School of Law. They don't want to be known as the UPSA Faculty of Law. No, UPSA School of Law. So they're taking away the Charlie. That thing has become like rice and oil.
Yeah.
We'll
get into it a bit more later this morning as well, because
right.
we're seeking to speak to a number of persons within faculty as well. But we can, for the purposes of this conversation as well, look at the critical aspect of the bill.
That's right. Now, the key and interesting details from the Legal Education Reform Bill 2025. The first point to note is that a new body called the Council for Legal Education and Training will replace the General Legal Council. A new body called the Council for Legal Education and Training will replace the almighty General Legal Council. Yes, the almighty. They are small thing. They go call you, appear before the General Legal Council. You can record the
stories. I think I've heard Sosu's story of having to appear before the General Legal Council.
Sosu's recording was what saved him. He could have been disbarred by now. But the almighty General Legal Council will be replaced by the Council for Legal Education and Training in regulating legal education. The second point to note is that the reform will allow accredited universities to run the law practice training course instead of concentrating professional legal training only at the Ghana School of Law.
Right.
Makola. That's what we know.
Even what we know as well, in addition, is that with time, Makola will become a place for training state attorneys. That's one of the intentions subsequently, so that the facility does not go to waste.
Yeah. Holders of Bachelor of Laws degrees will now apply directly to accredited universities for practical legal training before writing the bar exam. Oh, I see. So you can have your LLB.
Yeah. So for persons like Thomas Adote Papo,
Kosia Meko, all those who are holding
the LLB, and
for the fear,
the mental
fear of the entrance exam.
Exactly, that battle which makes you. And I have met people who told me that it made them feel like they are not good enough.
Yeah.
Right, having done it
broke down their confidence.
4 times, it made them feel like they are not good enough. And sometimes it's not the case. It's a case of they're not being
Availability
enough
of space.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And
Well,
so, yeah.
universities are required to introduce disability-friendly legal education systems. I think that at the last call, there was a visually impaired individual who was called to the bar. Yeah. Universities must establish a grades review committee. This part, to handle students' complaints over marks and grading fairness. You know, students also have complained about the fact that, Charlie, they know they have
You
written
sign
the
an
exam.
NDA which does not allow you to.
Can you imagine? And how do you even finish writing an exam? You're calling, Charlie, no.
That for a lot of people, that was always one of the many things which stuck out sorely.
But how are law students, how are people being trained as lawyers to be human rights advocates, and their own rights seem not to be? I mean,
I suspect it stems from obeying instructions, to a large extent. But yes, it always stuck out, and I mean, we always ask a question: how was it normal that you cannot ask to look at your papers?
If you're a student, you ask questions. That's what it is. Students ask questions for the teachers to be able to explain or point them in the direction where they can find the answers that they are seeking. Is that not the case? So now, if you treat the school as if the school is supposed to be a court of competent jurisdiction that has issued orders and the orders must be followed to the letter, it raises some serious concerns. And people have gone through this without talking about it. And Mariela, you find out that when people are going through those holy 2 years at the law school, they would never ever speak against the system.
Yeah.
They would never ever raise the pertinent questions, not speak against the system as to condemn the system or criticize the system, if we will. But as soon as they are called to the bar, they finish their pupillage, they start practicing properly. They are able to tell you what happened in the school.
I mean, it's because there are examples of persons, I'm a governor.
Right, I'm a governor as
I
well.
think
Yeah.
that was widely discussed,
Yeah.
thoroughly discussed
Yeah.
as to it wasn't for want of not passing.
Yeah. She was a good student.
Yes.
She had passed the exam, but
She was not included
she was
in the list of,
outspoken. She was demonstrating against a certain regime.
That all was all, and so yes, I mean you're right in every sense of the word when you say persons could not speak up, could not come forth with in terms of opinions as to what they believe could change, can change if they were in school. All you have to do is just go through the pace. And then
Just endure.
and then when you are out, you can begin to
You can begin to run your mouth.
Yes, you can begin your activism.
The duration of the Bachelor of Laws degree remains 3 academic years under the bill. Okay. Now, universities can disqualify students who consistently fail first-year examinations. If you are not, what are you going to do? Failing first-year examinations? Can you imagine?
No, sometimes certain things happen. When you get in, it's tough. I mean, you find out you have to be reading constantly.
But what are you in school to do?
I'm just trying to make the point. And sometimes it coincides with a certain phase of your life where things begin to become a bit difficult.
Right.
And so that could lead to a bit more of trouble. But with the rights balancing act, you can find your feet and get your way around it.
I was speaking to somebody who are trained as a lawyer in the US, and he said that, look, we seem to be too rigid around here.
That's fair.
We seem to be too rigid around here. You have to cram things into your head and blah 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 blah.
And
you have to, get some Latin in your head.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
And he said he doesn't understand why we do that, because in their jurisdiction, he says you are supposed to know where to find the law. That's all. That's what it. It is. If you're able to cram it into your head, that's your own bowl of banku. But where to find the law is the most important thing, and the principle that underpins the law. Those are the most important things. I don't know.
And for this, I'll have to agree with one individual I know. He's a lawyer, he's a lecturer as well. John Baptist Ayaja has always made the point that, look, what's the point of this current mood of becoming a lawyer? It's heavy laden with theory and very little to do with practice. And he's always said that, and said he would have preferred if his students didn't take exams.
But he also went through
he actually went through the system.
Almighty
and
punitive
is a lawyer now.
Or look-alike punitive thing, Charlie.
And is a lawyer, but
Counsel, we wish you well this morning.
Consistently makes the argument that he doesn't think the approach we've adopted for a very long time makes us the best of lawyers, and actually references the U.S. system that they come out better lawyers in terms of practice than...
Somebody also told me that some people trained at the inns and the temples and all those, they had more practical than the theoretical thing. They were going to the courts very often, and they were training under people, more like an apprenticeship kind of thing. And then they come here, when they are finished enjoying that, they come here and they want to come and put people in the corner, fix people in the corner, Charlie. Now, it says universities can also, the law practice training program will last one academic year from September to June. Persons who fail the bar exam can take the remedial courses and resit the exams. So those are the key highlights that we have. Foreign trained lawyers from countries with reciprocal arrangements with Ghana can qualify for enrollment on the roll of lawyers after satisfying specific conditions. Specific conditions, that's the most important thing. The bill revokes major sections of the Old Legal Professions Act 1960, Act 32, effectively dismantling. Hey, Charlie, the word.
It's the choice of word. Dismantling the old legal education.
The bill revokes major sections of the Old Legal Profession Act 1960, Act 32, effectively dismantling the old legal education framework. Emphasis on dismantling. Now, here are transitional provisions. 93.1. A person who, before the coming into force of this act, is enrolled at the Ghana School of Law and is undertaking the professional law course shall complete the professional law course under the applicable enactment and curriculum in force at the time of enrollment.
So persons who are...
If you are in now, you can still see your papers. If you ever call for a mark, the old order pertains for you.
To be very fair, a number of persons I know who are currently within the system tell us that since the workings for this new legislation began, there's been quite the changes as well. I don't know if it's coincided with the coming of Professor Atuguba. You know, Raymond Atuguba is now
the director of legal education.
Yes, and so for the first time, if what they tell me is accurate, ahead of the exam, which is the Part 1 exam, their students are writing mocks to sort of prepare them for the Part 1 exams and give them a feel of what it is like.
Well, I don't have a problem with a mock exam, for example. But when I look at a situation like this, you have 2 straight days where you have to go and sit down and assess lectures. Straight day. You start at 8 a.m., I'm told, and you end at 8 p.m. 12, 13 straight hours of sitting at one place. You have just about an hour break.
And so that's 8 to...
8 to 8. You have a 1 hour break, and you can ask them.
So that's
you sit
11 hours.
You are sit at one place. And the chairs are not those cozy... one place. So, for example, there are those who go on Mondays and Tuesdays straight, Wednesdays and Thursdays straight, Friday and Saturday straight. And then the extra days that you have are not left for you. You have to go for some court internship, etc. Charlie, what kind of punishment is that? I find it to be punitive. That 2 straight days of my life, I come and sit down and I'm not going anywhere. Anybody in this world who is an educationist will tell you that after you teach people for some time, some number of hours, their mind gets tired, they switch off. So are you preparing them, like we asked yesterday about BC, are you preparing them for the future, or are you just preparing them to pass an exam?
Questions.
We don't need charge and bail lawyers. Lawyer Yachimio, then he appears at Cantonment Police Station, comes to bail you. Those are charge and bail lawyers. So you find that the initial lawyer who comes to bail the person from the police station is not the lawyer who will continue the case. He is just standing in the gap. Charge and bail lawyers. We don't need that. Now, the other thing that we know is that the bill revokes major sections of the Old Legal Professions Act. We've read this already, Kunzo. Pay attention.
Okay. We've seen this already.
We've seen this already.
A person, yes.
We've seen this one already as well.
No, I think this one is different.
A person who, before the coming into force of this act, is enrolled in a law program at an institution that does not hold an accreditation license to offer or provide law practice training may apply for admission to undertake law practice training at the Ghana School of Law or any institution that holds a valid accreditation license to offer or provide law practice training. I can tell you that most people will avoid the Ghana School of Law.
Oh.
I can tell you. For I'm on radio, I can't say there, but most people will avoid it. Charlie, having it in mind that, okay, what if they change their mind midway? Anything at all could happen.
But I think a lot of people may still prefer it because of the traditional sense of this is what has always been the case.
The prestige that comes along with it.
So even for, these days, it is such that you can, when you gain admission to Makola, there are campuses that are scattered because the numbers are, so there are those who are at UPSA all throughout the week. There are those who argue that, you are at UPSA, we are at the Makola proper. There's that Ghanaian way of seeing things,
but you see,
which makes me believe that they will still want to go there.
That's the same thing that we did with GIJ. We attended GIJ. You went to AUCC, now AUCB, or you went to maybe DE or some, maybe now UPSA is even doing all those programs. At the end of the day, don't you get the certificate to work?
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, don't you get the experience?
In fact, the lawyers will tell you when you are called to the bar, nobody asks for what grade you made it out of school.
You can make 89%. I can make 51%.
We are all called.
We are all lawyers. On the day when the call is made, we shall all be called.
In fact, you'll be called via alphabetical order, and not because of.
So, if your name is Mr. Zungwaro and I'm Mr. Adu, I'll be called before you. So what's the point? So this is a master stroke. Actually, it's a very, very interesting thing. I'm sure a lot more people who have been keeping their LLBs in their basket and their
they've kept it in the fridge, cupboards, and all of that.
They will pick it up,
frozen,
dust it, and quickly head to their favorite universities and go and have their law degrees and their professional law course done, and then Charlie, they'll start saying your honor, my lord, my lady, your worship.
May it please his
honorable court. Eric Mayana
becomes the lingua franca going forward.
Eric Mayana Egbeta representing the accused with me is Philip Bedu.
So that's it, Fred. So this is the last one. For those of you on Facebook and YouTube as well, you've been following us.
It says also a person who has obtained a Bachelor of Laws degree before the coming to force of this act and who has not yet undertaken law practice training may apply for admission to undertake law practice training. Oh, okay. So this is where you mentioned Thomas Adute Papo and the rest there. Yeah, they had attained it, but now they have an opportunity to go and draw their swords and take it out there to the battlefield. We wish them all the best. There are many, many others that you can name. A lot of people that
Lots
you can
of
mention.
other people.
Lot of other people.
Mr. Dare, I know.
Yeah,
as an
said them
MC,
for him, my
yes.
good friend as well. There are many others.
Lots of other individuals who.
Charlie, sometimes when you think of the stress that it might come with, you just decide that, Charlie, let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
I also think, look, I've not had a very good look at the law, but I also think, Mawena, that you go to court sometimes, and I remember this as a court reporter. I go to court sometimes, and the prosecutors, not all of them, some of them don't seem to have a hold on the practice itself,
That's
especially the new ones, the police prosecutors.
which it was a point I was going to make, that's because they are police prosecutors.
Yeah, but then the point is that if we have people who are LLB, who are trained to understand the law, who understand the law actually to a certain extent or to a very large extent, over and above a regular policeman who has not undertaken the LLB, why don't we as a country employ these LLB people as persons who are to help with prosecution? So then it gives them a practical example and exposure to the workings of the court, to how the court goes through. They can tag along a police prosecutor and be providing a pocket lawyer, if you will, kind of thing.
So wait,
you know,
you're suggesting that the students be tag along with the police
I'm not saying the
prosecution?
student. So somebody who has an LLB,
So let's say Thomas Adote Papo.
right? So you have a law degree. If you give Thomas a piece of legal document, his analysis of that legal document will be totally different from a policeman who has not had any experience with it. The policeman at best will be using his court experience and something that he learned under a superior officer who had been taking him to court to sort of do his apprenticeship, etc. I may be wrong, but I'm saying that why don't we as a country, knowing that people have gone to school to do maybe a 3-year program, a 4-year program, they understand the law to a very large extent, interpretation, procedure, blah, 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 all those things. Why don't we have them rather as being prosecutors so that the police can tag along, or they can tag along the police, a certain arrangement of a sort? But then you have, a situation where somebody who has not read any bit of law, nothing, but the AG says, okay, I am giving you part of my powers, go there and go and represent me. And sometimes, Charlie,
Well, it constitutes some of the charges which we see, particularly in the lower courts.
so somebody's given a charge, and then they go back and then they get.
So some of the
that
charges are like defective.
They said, no, you shouldn't have charged him with this, you should have charged him with this, and then go back, and then so the individual is sometimes just being remanded and then rearrested and remanded and taking him, then we dropped all the charges, then we are filing new charges, blah blah blah. It's frustrating, and it all also gets in the way of the legal system and the delivery of justice. If you have people who have gone to school for 4 years or 3 years, and they are trained to understand the law, because the basis of going to the Ghana Law School until yesterday, when we had to then spread the tentacles, is that you had to get that LLB, right?
You still need it.
You need it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that the basis of going to the law school to do the professional law course is that you needed an LLB. Without the LLB, you couldn't have gone in there, right?
Yeah.
Good. Now somebody has the LLB, but is not able to help the legal system. But in future, that person is going to be part of the legal system. We can actually even make it, have a certain arrangement where somebody who has an LLB can go to help the police do some prosecutorial work, and that works to his credit. So you go and help with the prosecutorial work, and you get a certain credit mark, and that could be factored into the your marks eventually. Some
even
credit.
aids in now the mode of professional course has changed. Otherwise, I would have said it will even aid in
you getting some more practicing
admission
yeah.
even
Yeah.
Into
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
law school.
Yeah.
But I think I see reason
Yeah.
more of a program of some sort, right, for persons who have the basics of legal education,
That's right.
who can provide practical assistance in terms of understanding the cases, the facts, and helping to table the charges which can be put before the courts, to clean up sometimes what is a challenge at the lower courts, because it's a lower court and Sixus is here. You help us appreciate that a bit more. It's the lower courts where we tend to have police prosecution.
That's right. That's right.
At the
Superior Courts, you don't have that.
you do
That's
not
right.
have
That's
that,
right.
and that is where more often than not there is the difficulty in terms of.
But then you see at the lower courts, that's where you have somebody has stolen plantain, somebody has gone to beat somebody has committed a small traffic offense, somebody owes landlord comes to collect the money, he says I disagree with you, he beats the landlord. All those small things, somebody's a pickpocket, all those small things. But now I'm saying that we have found that in some of those issues, the police prosecution goes, they profess some charges against you, and then they come back later to say, oh, these charges, we have dropped all of them. Then you are released, and then you are rearrested right at the court. Say we are filing fresh charges against you, and for the same offense, really. If you want to, I'm saying that if you have LLB people who are sitting at home, who have the LLB degree,
there should be an incentive.
Find a way to inject them into the system, so that they can bring that knowledge to bear. And also gain some practical example, a practical experience of a sort in trying to help the legal system. That's all I'm saying. I mean, we don't do too well about that in this country. And I liken it to, if you like, the American or the US system of education. Children go to do holiday work. Children go to do volunteerism during vacation. And that helps to give them some credit when they return to school, and that credit is factored into their overall terminal report, if you will, right? In some jurisdictions, done. Now, you also have those who, like the BECE students who have finished BECE now, they'll be at home. They don't have any, if their parents cannot take them to back in the day we used to do a computer school and all of if their parents don't have the money to take them to computer school, they will be at home for as long as the SHS period is supposed to start. Either eating, watching Netflix, and sleeping, roaming around, experimenting with things that they are not supposed to be experimenting with, and all of that. Within that lame duck period, as a country, could we, for example, have had a situation where we say, okay, we are mapping them to apprenticeship. So you are a JHS3, what do you call it? Leaver. You have maybe 2 months. Come and intern with 3FM 92.7, and that goes to your benefit. You gain some experience, blah blah blah. All of we don't seem to want to do that in the country. So even in secondary schools, our sportsmen and women, right? Officially, they are not. While we were in class trying to learn our maths, English, science, social studies, physics, chemistry, biology, economics, agri, whatever it is, they sometimes will be training, right? The sportsmen, they'll be training. They will be out there either on the beach running or on the field training, blah blah blah. They may join the class after maybe 11:30 when we have done maybe 2 or 3 subjects. Officially, we do not engage them with the mind of giving them some credit for what they are doing, because it is also during school hours and it is to the benefit of the school, even though it's to their benefit as well, right? But it is some teacher who says, oh, as for this man, he's a sportsman for the school, so the guy comes to write the exam, he gets 40%, pass mark is 50%, teacher says, okay, because of your sportsmanship, I'll give you 10% so that
Yeah.
you also pass, so you don't feel and you are not disadvantaged and discouraged. So you find that most of them do not really get the A's and the B's and the whatever it is they're talking about, but they pass the exams anyway. So that is the thinking that I'm injecting into this conversation, that have the LLB people joined in there. What is difficult about it? Same idea that, for example, somebody has gone to do sociology. The person is at home. The person is not working. FD is looking for people to go to market to go and check who is using Sudan dye and the rest. Can we not engage them on a commission basis? If you go and catch Sudan dye 3 people, each person you catch, you have 5% of the money, of the fine. How difficult is that one? How difficult is that one? Create the avenue. Yo.
6, good morning.
Morning. The argument Johnny just made is really, actually, it's not new. It's been one of the running conversations that comes up and dies down again, especially when you look at the growth of legal education and the practice of the law in the country. In some jurisdictions, if you had an LLB and you were unable to progress into the professional training and subsequently into the practice for a certain period of years, by the time you come back, you would be required to go through the LLB process again. Because the assumption is that you have become rusty. You have forgotten your principles. So you need to go through the training again or the education again to be able to be abreast. And the nature of the law is that it's constantly changing, constantly evolving. So the principles might also be changing, or the principles might even be the same, but the supporting case law would be changing. If you have done legal research before, you would know that if you went to cite a 1917 case to support your principle, and another person cited even a 2000 case to support the same principle, the 2000 person might get audience before you, not necessarily to say that your own is different. But in the course of the development of the law, the evolution of the law, the principles either get amended, changed, discarded completely, or improved upon. And I give you an example. If you look at spousal property in Ghana, spousal property rights in Ghana, it's one area that has evolved from when women had no rights at all.
In fact, even recently, we are getting more and more judgments from the Supreme Court as to
This
how,
year,
this year.
we have that. The most recent case was this year, I think a month ago, or was it even this month? A month ago, where the position again was improved upon. But when we started off as a people in the development of spousal rights, women who were married had no say, no right whatsoever to property generated in dependency of the marriage. But today that position is not tenable. So if you probably had your LLB in 1917 and you came back in 1985 to continue with the professional training to become a lawyer, something may have changed that you would have lost touch with. Reason why some jurisdictions do not allow, and indeed insist that you don't just go through, but you must, kind of undergo a refresher training. So within same jurisdictions, you also have LLB holders. So holders of first degree in law, let's put it that way, who have the opportunity to go on to become paralegals. So your LLB is not just sitting in your house and you are roaming offices looking for other jobs. So you are in school now, Mawina. If you finished your LLB and you decided that you don't want to go on to do the professional training immediately, maybe because of financial constraints.
No, that would have been the case in the old system. But with the coming into force of this new law,
It won't happen.
a lot of people will not do that.
Yes, and that's the point I'm actually driving at. So you finished and you decided that you don't have money to proceed immediately. So you want to take your time, do a few things, gather money, and then go on. And in the course of gathering this money, you take too long. In fact, that is my story. I finished my LLB in 2015. My mates at LLB are like 6 years at the bar now, give or take. So between the time I finished the LLB and the time I eventually got called to the bar, a long period. What did I use my LLB knowledge for? Yes, I was in the media space. I've always been in the media space. So at least I utilized mine to some extent. Reporting from the courts, doing legal analysis on radio and on TV, the like. Other people don't have that. So in other jurisdictions, there's the opportunity for people of my stock to go ahead to train, a short training to become paralegals. And a paralegal would merely just take your what you call the brief, could advise you. At that level, the paralegal would look at the set of facts you have brought, look at the laws and the principles available, and tell you that, well, this matter as it is, we have to find you a lawyer to go to court. There's 60%, 70% chance that a court of law might smile at you favorably. That's a paralegal. Or you want to write a will, then you look for a paralegal, not necessarily a barrister. You look for a paralegal to do the drafting for you. And paralegals are also in the law drafting business. So Parliament, for instance, could have paralegals because the whole of Parliament is a legal institution. We tend to let the politics overshadow the role of Parliament in our legal system. But Parliament actually plays a crucial role in our legal system. So you could have LLB holders there helping with legal research, helping with drafting bills, reviewing clauses of bills, and the like. So there's actually a big opportunity for us to utilize LLB holders in this country, but we don't do that. So that brings into focus the role of the new law. And we would have to take time to go through the law and understand what exactly it permits, it allows, and what it does not. Because the other misconception or premature excitement some people have is that, oh, there's a new law, so it is a smooth sail. Yes, it is a smooth sail. You won't go through the hassle, the high blood pressure of having to wait for entrance exam. You are at the exam hall and they have cancelled the exam and reset. That is what happened to me. We went to write the entrance exam. They said it had leaked. So they cancelled the paper that morning and gave us 2 hours to come back same day to write the entrance exam. Different set of questions. Imagine the mental pressure, the torture that people go through. There are people who are repeating the same exam 3 times, 4 times. They eventually get into the Ghana School of Law for the purposes of clarity. Let's call that one Makola. Finally get into Makola, and they have to repeat exams over and over and over. Yes, you might say that such people born. That is also there. And that's an argument we cannot stretch. But how possible is it that somebody will write or take an exam and the person will fail all the, let's say, 3 or 4 papers? The person writes again and the person passes all the papers in a matter of 3 months or 4 months. How possible it is?
He has learned harder. And
Or
is
God
a,
has intervened.
and is a better student.
Or God has
Or they
intervened.
brought the same papers, and so he understood better and wrote.
You see the way you are explaining. you have attempted to proffer 5 different reasons for this. All of those reasons are tenable. For the sake of argument, all those reasons are tenable. But it could also point to a fundamental error with the system. How do you write a professional exam? And more than half of the class fails the professional exam. At least we have other exams to look at.
Yeah.
We have ICA to look at.
Yeah.
We have the doctors, medical people. What
Yeah.
was it?
Medical
GMA.
and Dental Council.
Council.
And Dental Council.
We have their exams to look at. There's another one. I think the insurance people also have
Yeah,
their own.
insurance people also have NIC, National Insurance College.
In Makola, you will write an exam. Half of the class will fail the exam. You go for remarking, half that failed will pass. How? Professional exam. Professional exam. It is not an end of term exam.
Exam.
Professional exam means that there is a certain foolproof, standardized system that ensures that grading is not questionable. That ensures that if you were to be graded as failed, 99% chances that you will not pass that same paper if you called for a remark. In our system, it's not like that. You would be declared as failed. You go for a remark, and you have actually overpassed. That
Isn't that one of the
ridiculous-
reasons why the monopoly is going with this new legislation?
exactly. It's one of the good sides of the reform that I'm trying to highlight. So it points to a certain systemic problem with the Makola system, which the university schools will now have to deal with. That if you are writing a professional exam and you were to be graded as failed, and you were to call for a remark, it should be very difficult for you to pass that. Not because the people are hard-handed, but because you have actually failed.
And not because
And not because
you
of
were
some
failed
other...
for some other reason.
Exactly. The system has failed you. An examiner has failed you. All the checks that should be in place, they've all failed you.
Fair point.
And in the Makola system, you cannot see your point, your paper. So they will bring you a set of results. You've written 6 papers. They will bring you a set of results that says that legal practice and management, law practice and management, you have failed. Legal accounting, you have failed. Civil procedure, you have failed. Criminal procedure, you have failed. ADR, you have failed. You call for a remark, and the 5 papers that you have failed, you actually pass 4 out of the 5. How do we trust such a system?
Fair point.
So there's a good to the reform that we are about to see. But let no one be deceived that it means that
Wholesale.
you are going to be shipped through. Once you sit in class and you finish your LLB, then you are going through. The universities...
From Form 3 to Form 4.
From Let nobody be deceived, and don't get excited about that. The universities will now also design a certain progress procedure to ensure that they pass you from the LLB straight into the professional training system. Train you to write the National Bar exam. Because the universities will also now begin to think about records,
reputation, and
reputation. That Dong School of Law at the University of Ulo, any student who goes through there, they have 100% score or pass rate, or a 99% pass rate. Out there in other jurisdictions, that is what universities use to recruit students. When the universities come to you, and yes, out there, universities are actually actively recruiting students. Here, you have to pursue the university, offer the money, and you may still get disappointed.
Right.
So the universities will now begin to be concerned with quality, pass rate, reputation, and so it won't be wholesale just like that.
Right.
So let's not get too excited about it.
Right.
Okay.
I had wanted us to get into a number of some other stories involving
fiscal thing. Oh.
Yes, but I mentioned the Deputy AG and Yoko Boss story
Right.
about singing different tunes in relation to the Hanan story. That's in the Daily Graphic, as well as Gift Your Worries.
Arrested?
As well as Gift
Gift
Your
Your Worries
Worries.
heading to the Supreme
Yes.
Court to challenge the.
So she is going to the
witness list.
Yes, she's going to the Supreme Court to challenge an application seeking interpretation of some matters because she's been asked to provide a list for witnesses, and she says that goes completely against the right of, or the constitutionally guaranteed right of, presumed to be innocent until proven guilty. I think
she's been what, directed to name specifically name some people.
So the High Court had ordered her to file a list of names and addresses of potential witnesses she will be calling when the time arises. And Sixus, you know the criminal procedure, whether persons can be forced to disclose the witness list and the addresses of the witnesses which they will rely on in their defense. That's a subject matter for debate.
That is actually what they have litigated right from the High Court now
Court of
into
Appeal,
the Supreme Court.
and they're
Now
going
into
to the Supreme Court.
The procedure, as we are familiar with, is that Johnny is the one who has brought me to court. So Johnny, it is Johnny's responsibility to say that, to show the court, demonstrate to the court beyond every reasonable doubt. That is in a matter, a criminal matter.
Right.
That look, Dong is a stealer, so Dong has to go to Insawam for 25 years, and Johnny will bring all his resources at play,
Including witnesses.
all his witnesses, all his evidence just to prove that I have committed
what
that
he said is correct.
is correct. At that, whilst Johnny is doing that, my duty is just to appear in court. They will call the case Republic versus Dong, then I'll stand up. Then Johnny will start calling his witnesses, making his case, and I'm just there listening. I cannot respond. I cannot shout in court. If some witness comes and is telling a bunch of lies, I can't even open my mouth. I have to sit down quietly and let the person flow all the lies that he or she has against me. When Johnny is done, then Dong's lawyer will get up and say that, Judge Mawina, all the things that Johnny has said, he has not met the standard. He has not proved anything. He has actually not brought any evidence that shows that, credible evidence that shows that the offense I'm said to have committed, I have committed. So there's no reason for you, Judge Mawina, to even say I should come and answer for the offenses that. Then you, Mawina, you go back to your office, sit down and evaluate all the things that Johnny has said about me against the weight of the law. Then you tell yourself that, well, Johnny has made some point. There are some questions I have to answer. I said I didn't steal the thing, but I was not in my house, and I was in the vicinity of the theft at that same time that the theft occurred. So why was I there? That is the answer you want a question to ask the judge. So you come back to court and tell us that, well, Johnny, you have asked some critical questions that Dong has to answer. So Dong, I'll give you the opportunity to answer those questions that have been asked. At that point, I will also then say that, okay, Johnny has lied. So me too. I'm calling DJ Phil. I'm calling Kunzo. I'm calling Edith. I'm calling Abigail. These people will come and speak on my behalf and prove to you that I wasn't even there. Or yes, I was there, but I was even doing something completely different. So I'm innocent of the charge. That is the time or the point at which I will now tell you that DJ Phil, Kunzo Tiani, Edith, and Abigail are my witnesses. But at the time that Johnny is making his case, if you jump ahead to tell me that, look, you have to first of all let me know who your witnesses are. I mean, some way. I'm not sure that is what we were taught. I'm still a baby lawyer, but I'm not sure that is what we were taught. And I'm not sure that is what the practice is.
In fact, we've spoken to a private legal practitioner on the subject matter before, and he makes the same arguments that you make. My concern is if legal practitioners say that is not the practice, I am a bit curious as to why this continues to be, because now this is prolonging the case.
It is a prolonging
substantive matter.
Yeah.
I think at some points the court had ruled that the substantive matter can proceed, and so it will proceed. But I just feel if it is not necessary and the explanation you're providing is anything to go by, then we should be making some progress.
I think that from the layman's point of view, the government, and on whose behalf the Attorney General is in court in that matter at the National Service Secretariat over forged names, ghost names, earning salaries or allowances that they don't deserve, etc.
No, Johnny, let me make a technical correction there. The AG is not in court on behalf of the government. The AG is in court on your behalf.
On my behalf,
yes.
Well, so on my behalf,
on the behalf of the people.
So yes, so the people, government is of the people, by the people, with the people, through the people. So it's all of us. So of the people. So that's what I'm saying, that the AG and by extension the government. I'm using the government because the government also told us in opposition of Operation Recover or Loot, oral, right? And they told us how they were going to be ruthless with persons who have been corrupt. As of now, Gift Yawari and whoever has been accused in that national service issue are innocent until proven guilty. That's the principle we know.
Yes.
Now, the government ought to know and be minded and be reminded that the people of the Republic of Ghana, on whose behalf they are working, on whose behalf the Attorney General goes to court every day, has a policeman with him, has state attorneys, has clerks, has whatever it is, goes to court every day on some of these matters. We are not interested in all this back and forth. The ordinary man on the streets, the ordinary Ghanaian, is looking forward to that big answer as to whether or not there were ghost names, how much the ghosts enjoyed, whether the ghosts use Momo or they use bank transfers or they receive the money on tabletop, and what is going to happen to the ghosts if indeed they got the access to the money that they were not supposed to have gotten access to. Thus far, since we were told in that report, the charge sheet that was in the public domain, and the names and then the figures and the numbers of ghosts and their identities and their age differences, blah 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 blah, we have not seen, like somebody would say, we have not seen flesh and blood. And that one is a serious matter that the deputy AG must be paying attention to. You have espoused the principle. We spoke to another lawyer the other time who espoused a similar principle. And I'm not sure that the Deputy Attorney General is not aware of the principle. If he is aware of the principle, why are we going back and forth? Get to the matter. We have had enough of the advert to the main show. We want to see the show. So if the people are guilty, let the law take its course. Let's run the show. Otherwise, you see that public perception about you being a thief, when in fact you may not be a thief, or you being whatever, when in fact you are not, it will fester.
It is like being charged with rape.
Yes. You
In
are
the minds of the people,
you are a rapist.
You are guilty.
Now you know that press conferences had been held about this matter. The charge sheet had been made public. Things had been said. In fact, even before that, Giftawari and others also had cause to come and speak in the public domain to say that they are innocent and they have not done anything. If there's anything, they would have been charged by now. So now in the public has two views to listen to. We want the conclusion of the matter so that it will answer that conundrum of Operation Recover All Loot, if indeed there had been any loot at all. If there has not been any loot, let us know so we settle our minds. This kwani that we are doing, Hanan arrested, rearrested, left charges, recharged, Giftawari, this, that, and we are looking. Charlie, we are tired.
You see, the two of you have basically made the same point about
we are tired
about results. The point the two of you make is actually about results.
Right.
And generally, like you rightly captured, people will say we are yet to see blood.
Yeah. And flesh.
And we are not happy with the status quo. But let me, as an officer of the court, let me attempt a small. I'm not explaining. I'm trying to inform. It's not to excuse anything. And I've made this point here quite a number of times about our legal process, the slowness of our legal process, the deliberateness of our legal process, the foolproofness of our legal process. There's a principle in criminal law. I've forgotten. Mawina, you should know this. It is better for one criminal.
It's actually
to go
better
free
for a criminal to go free than for an
100
person.
innocent people to be. It's a serious principle in criminal law that we don't joke with. So the moment you are accused or charged with a crime, the system is activated, and it is the duty of every single stakeholder in that system, including the prosecutor himself or herself, to ensure that all the avenues available to you through which you can prove your innocence are made open to you. That's number one. Number two, the system is also designed in a manner to ensure that if Murtala has been charged with a crime, Murtala is availed all the resources he can amass, all the opportunities at his disposal to be able to prove his innocence. Not prove his, that's a bad expression. Because when you are charged with a crime, it's not your duty to prove your innocence. So it's a very bad expression to say to prove your innocence. But you are availed the opportunity to be heard. To be heard. Again, it's the thing we keep saying, natural justice. You are given the opportunity to be heard. You are given the opportunity to defend yourself. So our constitution has a whole provision on fair trial, fair hearing, innocence until proven guilty. That is why there are cases that would go to the Supreme Court on appeal, and the Supreme Court will throw out the entire conviction and or sentence based on what people would usually term as a technical problem. So technically, the Supreme Court would not have said that you did not commit the offense. The Supreme Court would have simply said that, well, you didn't give the man the opportunity to be heard on the matter, and so the conviction is quashed. You get it? So even though it's a delay of the process, if Gift Oware or Abdul Hanan or Mustafa Hamid, if they want to go all the way to the Supreme Court on any single matter, they are at liberty to do so. And the opportunity is actually availed them. So as people on whose behalf the AG is prosecuting, we need to be able to follow the process. We need to be able to be patient and let the process run its course. In law, actually, in the criminal justice system, actually, procedure matters. Procedure matters. So if there was something that could have changed the course of the trial, and it was not allowed, or it was not given the opportunity to try, then a higher court might say that, look, you did not avail the accused person his right to be heard, the opportunity for him to bring everything he has at his disposal to be able to defend himself. So I can understand that 2 years down the line, we are asking ourselves, almost 2 years down the line, we are asking ourselves, where is the blood you promised us? Yeah. But we have to also, measure that against the system that we have all agreed upon. That slow, snail-paced system that we have all agreed upon should be our system.
Again, the snail system that we have agreed upon is not in question. The question is, and as you explained, and as I said, there is another counsel that explained a similar thing. If we know the process that, look, you have taken X to court, the state has accused so and so of doing wrong against the state, and they are supposed to be the ones hitting them with all the allegations and charges and etc. And for you to finish and close your matter, and then let the person also come and start, his. Why are you now then going ahead to force the person to say, give me an anticipation of, why are we now going on to say, give me an anticipation of the witnesses that you would call?
Which is why the Supreme Court has to step in.
So the deputy AG should have gone on with the case. You claim you have a case. You did a press conference. You came to tell us that so and so has happened. Go ahead and fight the matter in court. Deal with the substantive matter. When it gets to the point where the person has to bring out their witnesses and they are dilly-dallying, then we can sing the same song with you.
I don't know what exactly happened in Gift Oware's case, but usually you would also file an application for a stay of proceedings. Yeah. You tell the High Court that, look, I'm going to the Court of Appeal to pursue this matter. So hold on, because the case I'm going to pursue there, if I win, it will have a bearing
on the fundamental
the direction of this particular case. Right. So you relax this one, Judge. Put this one on ice. Let me go to the Court of Appeal and come back. If I go and fail, I'll come and we'll continue.
So in this case, the trial court held that the trial will proceed even as they go to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Okay.
So it is expected that even as they challenge that will go on, that the trial will go on.
Charlie, if you step out onto the streets, the people are just looking for maybe just one prosecution. The same thing that has been chasing the office of the special prosecutor around. That, look, we have spent so much on you
and no results,
and we have not seen anything. People are now beginning to raise those same questions about the office of the Attorney General. Look, we are tired of the press conferences. We are tired of the what they call public trial or a trial in the
Media
court
trial.
of media trial. We are tired of it. We want to see if the people are really guilty, as you say it is, recover all loot, and there's some loot that has been taken. Find a way through the courts, through the right processes, to bring them to book. How difficult is that one? If you say you are, if I tell you that I have 20 CDs in my car now, and you challenge me, all I need to do is to exit this studio, go to my car, open it, and bring the 20 CDs and put it here, and tell you that I told you that I have 20 CDs. I brought it here. You also claim you have 10 CDs. Go to your car
So
and go and bring it.
you see the oversimplification. In your case, you can just get up and go to your car.
Right.
In our legal system, before you even exit the studio, you would have to ask for permission from Judge Mawina.
And I'm saying that it's also a process.
Yes.
Me
Yes.
getting up from this place,
Yes.
walking to the
your
door,
car.
opening the door,
With the
using
biometric lock.
thing. In fact, I have to go through biometric, what do you call it, processes.
Perfect.
Walking all the way.
Perfect.
Taking the key out of my pocket.
Imagine this, the first immediate door.
Yeah.
Imagine it jams.
It is.
It
I'm
means
not
that you have to
imagining.
stay.
I'm not doing hypothetical situation. I've gone to the car.
That is exactly how our legal system
So
is.
I'm saying that you go ahead with your attempt to get to the car first. Then when you are coming back and there are impediments on your way, we can sing the song with you. But you are not even moving towards the car. You are sitting at the same place and telling us that, oh, there's money in the car. Oh. If you like them, you are going to bring the money from the car. The people are not looking for that. The people look, and I'm sure I'm speaking the minds of a lot of ordinary Ghanaians on the streets.
Yes,
That
definitely.
look, Operation
Definitely.
Recover All Loot was a big thing.
It's still a big thing.
It is still a big thing. Names were put out there, properties and that people had acquired illegally, whatever it is, they were all put out there. What we are looking for beyond Mahama Big Push, beyond Mahama Cares, beyond Goldbot, beyond all the goodwill and the good things that the government is doing, MPA, this, that, and we will applaud the government for those things. Beyond all of that,
We want blood.
you promised Operation Recover All Loot. That is what the people are looking for. Ever.
Right. Mutala is here. We can begin conversations and tone down a bit.
Why are you saying to that?
Mutala is looking into his phone as if he couldn't be bothered about your
Just
long
one
court
thing.
processes.
Yeah.
One thing before we
What
switch
about?
lanes. Where are the buses?
The bus
Transport Minister, Metromass Transit Limited, please put the buses on the road so the ordinary folk can
I agree with
enjoy.
you. Charlie, so yesterday when Veronica Kome was here, she made an appeal. And I want to reiterate that, just because we started the bus campaign as well. She said there's a school by the motorway called the RIN School.
RIN.
And it's been affected by the construction. The whole place is dusty. The school looks like a madhouse. The children are
RIN
going.
is one of the
It's a top school. And the
schools
children
in
are
terms
going home with bronchitis and asthma attacks and all of that. So I wrote and
the contractor on the road.
we'll talk to his boss first. Roads and Highways Minister, Governor Kwame Agboja MP for Daklo. I know that you are an action man. Also Deputy Alasan Suini MP for Tamale North. And then all the chief directors,
And the ministry.
the ministry, the chief director, the ministry, the directors, and then the contractor himself. We want to say good morning to you. On behalf of the children at RIN International School, we plead.
Do something about
our
that
future
situation.
leaders, please save their lungs, save their noses, save their hairs, save their shirts, save their bags, save the school building, make it a safe place for them to learn and be educated. We beg you, in the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Quick one, Africa Athletics Championship.
But I came to give Sisters, I don't know
Good
whether
news?
you take good news or bad news.
I want good news.
After, leading the crusade to sack Otuado.
Oh, you've not
God
been
has
here in a long time.
God has been
Otuado is
means
not
you
a
are-
scout.
Yeah, God
You've
has
not been here in a long time
delivered
because
the
the thing is,
yesterday.
Yeah, just yesterday. He's
Just
not a
yesterday.
scout.
Uh-huh.
FIFA selected Otuado to be part of their technical study.
Technical what?
Study.
Steady.
Yeah.
So they will be providing for the World Cup. So they will be providing insights, trends that will help shape football in the future. So
you.
FIFA has seen the good in Otuado.
Oh, wrong premise. wrong premise.
Yeah,
So
but
you never
said
you're
never
not to
said
start
Otuado
episode
was
that
bad.
get us to each team.
So what Mutala is saying is that Obi Mpe.
Obipe.
No.
That is what
I
I'm
see.
telling
No.
you.
That you see, that's not what
You
we
see,
were
but
saying.
that has never
What
been the
we are
campaign.
saying is that you see, Marina, Google that song. Life in this world is a great struggle. Google it. No, I'm serious. Google it.
The lyrics.
There's a second verse that says that you have your talent.
Yes.
I have my talent.
Yes.
Develop yours. Let me develop mine.
Bam.
The problem arises when painters want to do the work of prime ministers.
Electricians.
It is in the song.
Square pegs.
Otuado, we all know he's a scout.
We all know his
Then we
strength.
went to bring him as our head coach.
So, Mutala, if I get up today and say I'm a coach, you will recruit
But
me.
he has the licenses that show that he has going to.
Mutala.
He has licenses.
Mutala, look,
Yeah.
Mutala, in your house, sometimes when you go and call an artisan, you call, let's say, a plumber,
Yeah.
and you tell him to come and fix something for you at home. And then in fixing the thing, you also start complaining to him that, oh, Charlie, this is my bulb. It's like the electricity. Say, oh, don't worry. You ask him, oh, if you know any electricity, say, oh, no, don't
I
worry.
can fix it.
If I finish, I'll go fix some for you. You see, say, he go fix the thing finish. Then when you sit the WC top, it go they shock you. That's what that's what Otuado came to do to us. You were a scout.
But you would agree he
When
did
you
some
go
good
to-
work.
How? No, you see, Mutala,
qualifying
I
the team
think
to the World
I think you are missing the plot.
Okay,
oh.
you-
you are missing the whole advocacy that.
Oh,
we
now have you
doing.
found the song?
Yeah.
It was just as Johnny explained. It was just to say that look, the man has his strengths. He is good. He's done some good, but leading the Black Stars is simply, as he himself has demonstrated, not one of his strengths. So let's find somebody who is strong as a coach. We can even still retain the man as a scout for the team. But being head coach, there.
Okay.
You see, episode. Episode also has a song. He said he's a very good bad boy. Good. Otuado was a very good bad coach.
That is what I want to take a minute to ask you something. Since you
Your talent is as good as mine.
yeah,
Strive to
since you
develop
are-
same.
No,
In
you
the
for play that song.
since
Give.
you are in the legal
No,
profession,
I'm sorry. If I play that song, hold on.
Yeah.
We will go into legal. Play that song for this man. Play that
I'm
song.
not sure the second stanza.
Play that second stanza. Just a portion.
it's
Just a portion.
readily-
You won't be
It's-
able to cue it.
Yeah, it's readily available. That's why I'm reading it.
No. When you play it, it will come.
So I'm sure he'll play it afterwards. I wanted to ask because aside the African Athletics Championship, which is dominating, I mean, on social media, I play on social media. I've seen this WebKid Stoneboy issue trending. Now, the lawyer for WebKid
Tell her.
comes on Twitter X to come and do a whole explanation.
Hey.
As to,
I'm actually not
with
familiar
the
with the
issue.
Myself, I'm not
familiar.
familiar.
You know, okay, so Stoneboy has gotten a netizen arrested.
He complained.
Yes,
He felt
according
it's
to
a
what
complaint.
we saw the document from the court. It's
The guy attacked the wife.
Yeah.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying. But this is the case. The case is still. They went to court yesterday, but the lawyer comes on X Twitter space to explain the whole process and what is happening and all that. And there are other lawyers who are saying no, you don't do.
They are
that
doing a
when
media
you-"
trial.
Yes. So I
Whose
wanted to
lawyer?
find-
Stoneboy's lawyer.
No, the guy's lawyer, WebKid's lawyer. He says Shatter movement. He's a Shatawale fan, actually.
In fact, even
See where the
yesterday.
matter go past.
In fact,
No, he's a Shatawale fan. So
In fact,
Shatta has even done.
yeah,
videos on
he
that,
did videos
condemning
on
what
it,
Stoneboy
yeah.
did. That I mean, fans will be fans. So if somebody says something,
So
against
they should
you,
be allowed to fool
you don't-
small, yeah.
You don't arrest the person. But what I want to find out is it right for a lawyer that a case that is currently in court to come out like that?
No,
and,
No, sub judice.
Straight is a straight no.
Sub judice.
In our ethics, it's one of the things that is even before we come to that is ethically it is unallowed. You don't go on other platforms in the public domain trying to try your case. That is why in the election petition, for instance, you would find that all the major parties in that case had set up communication teams.
Okay.
Those people may also be lawyers, but their job was purely to communicate the processes of the court.
Okay.
But the lawyer on record, is the one.
They don't come out and talk.
No, you don't. Your voice is only heard in court.
Okay.
Right.
So good understanding, Johnny.
Yeah.
Quick one.
Challenge.
Opinion,
Like
you
them.
can't-
No, I just want
Murtala always comes.
I am the one.
Murtala always
do
comes
their
with
sports.
questions.
I am the one.
I think you're on the same.
man
I think
go do their
the
sport.
man come with a lot of questions.
Johnny,
Yeah.
now let's look at the other side.
Yeah, of
Like Shatawale's live video yesterday, that fans will always be fans. They are Beam natives or Stone Boys fans who have also attacked him. If he says he's arresting everybody, then this is not a music industry.
No, but not when before Johnny comes in. Not when, not when it turns into the realms of criminality.
No problem.
yeah, and even
So Johnny,
If you commit a crime down there, we won't say
I want
it
to
is
find out from
industry
Should we
fun.
leave the fans to be fans?
well, you can
Because
be
he said
Responsible
he can't control-
fans.
you can be a fan, but you should not be so fanatical to be playing the fool. We must not encourage it. You know, many years ago when I was on TV Africa, I have always been against this Beam Nation
Shutter movement.
shutter
Fanaticism,
movements,
yeah.
you know, clashing, and I've always been against it. So when Shatawale and Samini were at each other's throat, I refused to host both of them. The record is there.
Okay.
The great Kwanzaa will tell you, Yao Sechi will tell you. I was the host of a rundown show.
When Yao left.
Yes, I filled Yao's shoes for about 3 years, and I refused to host any of them because it didn't make. At some point, there was even one guy who came into the midst. Vibrant Fire, he died on the motorway.
Yeah, Vibrant Fire.
I refused to host him too, because he was also trying to fuel the thing. Now, it starts as fanaticism. And you know, those who have visited Jamaica before, maybe if Black Rockstar were here, we would tell you.
Shatawale always refers to Jamaica.
And
Yeah.
what happens? There are sometimes gunfights and the rest.
gunshots and all.
Is that what we want? Is that our culture? We should not be encouraging stupidity in the name of fanaticism. I would never support that. Support the musical industry. Stream the music. Join the hashtag. Feel
So will
free.
you say Stoneboy was right to cause the arrest of Web?
But if you are
Because
attacked,
Shatta says a lot of fans have insulted him and he
it
has
is
not
his
said
problem. Me, Shatawale has insulted me. Have I gone
No,
to
but if
arrest him?
they've insulted him,
Even
is it a prosecutable
I
matter?
actually, yeah, you see, so it is a private matter, right? I have been insulted by Shatawale, even not mentioning them, because if I say that if you are not a thief, and you go to the market and they start shouting, "Hey, July, will you run away?"
Sometimes you run.
I have no, but I have not mentioned your name.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh, the FBI is in town." Insulted me, insulted my mother, insulted my wife. I did not bother to even respond to him.
Third parties.
Yes, I did not even bother to respond to him.
Okay.
Because as far as I know, I had to take the higher road.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And make do. He is deciding that people can insult him because perhaps he thinks that that's what makes him trend and all of that.
Yeah.
That's his problem. Stoneboy, on the other hand, a master's degree holder says, I will not play the fool like that. Because my wife is also a medical doctor, won about 7 awards in medical school. I cannot allow for some, I don't know, somebody. who
So it's a matter of choices.
yes, I mean, you are a private citizen. You control your life, like you on social media.
Yeah.
There are people who decide that, oh, you can come and attack me on my social media page. I will not mind you. I will not delete the comment. I will not bother. There are people who say, oh, if you come, you insult me, I will respond in equal force and fight you. There's those who say, I don't have the energy to fight you. I'll just delete the comment and block you. So different strokes for different folks. He is deciding that everything is okay with him. He should leave the man to also deal with his family. The man has a family, right? He has a wife. He has children. The children are looking up to him. Somebody somewhere who does not even know where the next meal is coming from decides that he has to come and insult him.
Actually, one of the tweets the guy made was Stoneboy should go for a DNA. He doesn't think his kids belong to him.
So now,
He thinks that he belongs to Black City.
So now, If
I
he
don't
is
even
su-
think you should be propagating some of the.
you should not be propagating
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I shouldn't
Yeah,
do
but
it,
the
yeah.
point is that if the man now decides that he wants to take
Action.
action per his rights within the law, there's nothing wrong. Why are you gagging the man from taking it? If you decide that you are not going to take it, that as far as we know in the public domain, this is the only woman Stonebwoy has been with, right?
Yeah.
On the other hand, in Shatawale's case, how many has been there?
About 3.
So what are we talking about? The man, you are deciding to live your life in a certain way. He says, I want to live my life in
I want
this
to take
direction.
action. Okay.
I'm not you.
So
not
you
you.
don't set the
Be like-
standard.
You don't set my standards.
Oh,
No, but
okay,
you see,
I get
something
it
we
now.
should all know as a
You are
people,
not me, I am not
especially
you.
those
Okay.
on social media. You go and buy your 2 cedi data, and you want to hide behind some
And
pseudonym.
be
Yeah.
spewing
And
rubbish.
the Republic is now beginning to take seriously those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Cyber offenses are now taking a center stage in our system. If you attack anybody, you must be ready to
And
to
you
defend
can
yourself.
we can have debate about free speech and all of that, but I know as well in countries like the UK they are beginning to take social media commentary very seriously
Yes.
as well.
But-
in
but-
the
but
UK, in fact, I've
Yes.
seen a lot of persons who live in the UK complain that they are criminalizing speech and all of that. It appears governments are not taking social media
No.
commentary, which
No.
can be very vile
Ma-
sometimes.
Marina-
Because in our own
Like-
country,
like
we
we
know
are told.
we know how baby politicians
Yes,
are
yes.
hiding behind social media
Yeah.
to insult, denigrate, assassinate
Yeah,
the character
yeah,
of
yeah.
accomplished men and women
yeah,
in public
yeah.
service. We know all
But
these
just
things.
just a year ago, Shatta came on Twitter and called Ghana police to arrest Kojo Sheldon.
Right.
Said that Sheldon
3FM
was
92.7.
going to the root of cyberbullying. Sheldon was talking about him and he didn't want that.
He's talking about bullying.
Yeah, he said he quoted. He said
we
that-
have to
yeah, he said
we
it
have
was
to make progress now.
cyberbullying, by the way. But he says that if you insult me and my wife, I will just go into my room and cry. Why should you go and call police for?
But what is the meaning of wife? How did a person become a
That,
wife?
that ends the conversation.
I mean, no. The lawyer
You are the one who started it. Now you are running.
Wait.
Because the rules that
Wait. The lawyer is here. How does one become a wife? You tell us. Customarily and
There's a whole procedure.
yeah.
Each system has its own procedure.
There's
Okay.
customary, there's
if
ordinance.
it's customary,
Yeah.
the two of you, your decision and your
Yeah.
consent.
Yeah.
Then there's is it drink? Customary
Yes,
drink,
yes,
what
right.
you appear
Right.
with. So what you all know as the list. Once you fulfill that
We have to
customary,
We have to run.
So
Right.
so if
We
you
have to run.
you have a girlfriend or a fling or a baby mama, and you decide to label the person as
Well,
wife, and
the-
somebody
the
has
place you are
gone
taking
through
the
the
thing to-
process
I
of
beg
but
you.
it.
I
if
mean,
you also have
you-
a baby mother and mama
This is why I
who
bowed.
has carried herself, if you have a baby
Oh no, I'm
mama
not.
who has carried herself, and
As
you
a
yourself,
wife.
you have demonstrated to the whole community
they
that,
are
this
a
is
wife,
not just
Right.
they
a
become
baby
a wife.
mama,
Right.
but also a wife material. That wife will be considered a wife when it gets to other answers. and
When
questions.
Sports,
like
sports, yes,
Interbible
that's-
says,
that's-
okay,
Yes.
but
sports now.
how do we make a wife?
Sports now.
That's all I asked.
FM 92.7.
Let's now do some sports here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Coming up this morning, the 24th African Senior Athletics Championship began yesterday at the University of Ghana, and we'll be bringing you reports on that. There was Kofi Adams, the Minister for Sports and Recreation, who was at the event, and we had performances from some other musicians as well. Also, we'll be talking about the Ghana Football Association because Carlos Queiroz and his team has started work on the Black Stars. Plus, the Black Princesses have qualified for the Under-20 Women's World Cup. Let's now settle for the details and start off with the Ghana Athletics Championship, which has officially begun at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. The highly anticipated track and field competition, which runs from yesterday it will run from yesterday out through to Sunday, was officially declared open by the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, and there were other top athletics officials also there. My colleague Bill Shen was at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium and comes through with this report.
24th African Senior Athletics Championship was officially opened. The opening ceremony taking place at the University of Ghana Stadium, where lots of speeches being done, and the musical performance is also being done as well. And I'm going to gauge the mood of some of the people, some of the fans who have actually come here to witness the opening ceremony of the 24th African Senior Athletics Championship. So come with me, let's talk to a few people. I have this gentleman right here. Chairman, what's your name?
Ernest.
Ernest, first of all, how do you feel ahead of this competition? Which athletes are you here to see?
I feel excited because it has been a while I saw this, and I'm glad to experience this by myself. Thank you.
Which athletes are you here to support?
Ghana.
You're just supporting the whole Ghana team?
Yes.
Is there any athletes that comes to your mind?
Ghana. I'm all about Ghana. I'm a Ghana person, so I love Ghana, and we are rooting for Ghana.
All right, indeed, you are rooting for Ghana. Let me speak to this lady over here. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
Iris.
Iris. Who are you here to see?
Afronita.
Afrodita. Interesting. So you are here for the music. But do you think Ghana will win medals?
Yes.
We hope that Ghana wins a lot of medals. Of course, in the previous edition in Douala, Cameroon, Ghana won a total of 3 medals, and they will definitely want to improve on that medal tally.
That is my colleague Bill Eshen, who was at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium yesterday, and the championship will continue today. But speaking at the opening ceremony, the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams, said the championship will serve as a major platform for African athletes to showcase their talent on the global stage.
Over the next few days, this track and field will produce moments of speed, endurance, discipline, and brilliance. But beyond the medals and the records we will be witnessing, the championship reminds us of something deeper, that Africa continues to produce some of the finest athletic talent the world has ever seen. From Olympic podiums to World Championship finals, African athletes have consistently carried the hopes of millions and inspired generations beyond sport. Across distant races, sprints, jumps, relays, the continent has shown that talent is never our limitation. And when you look at the numbers, the future becomes even more exciting.
That is the Minister for Sports and Recreation there, Honorable Kofi Edi Adams. Now, meanwhile, team captain of Ghana, Joseph Poamo, has expressed confidence in his team's ability to secure medals despite the mounting pressure.
It's always nice to compete in front of the home crowd and the home crowd. The last time you all saw what happened, and we really like the support. We are very prepared, train hard, and we want to come out here and make sure we put smiles on Ghanaians' faces again. That's what we love to do, so we just continue. I'll say there's pressure, but we can only use it to motivate ourselves. If you let pressure break you, then you're in trouble. So go out there and try to use the pressure and everything, and try to come out with some medals.
Joseph Boamwa is captain of Team Ghana, and he will be bringing you a regular update on the championship on all our pages. Just follow 3 Sports on all socials to get updates on what is happening. Away from athletics, let's do some football, where Ghana's technical team headed by Carlos Queiroz has stepped up preparation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup with a man-long data-driven program focused on improving the Black Stars' performance levels. Now, according to the Ghana Football Association, the initiative combines scouting, tactical analysis, medical monitoring, and fitness assessment to enhance player readiness ahead of the tournament. Between April 11th and May 11th, the technical team produced 200 videos reports only and monitored 170 matches live, attended 30 matches in person, and tracked 75 players through scouting networks, and direct observed 30 players as part of the comprehensive evaluation. Remember that Ghana would be the World Cup and will be playing teams like Croatia and England together with Panama. So Carlos Queiroz is ready to ensure the Black Stars do well. Meanwhile, former Ghana coach Otto Addo has been appointed to FIFA's Technical Study Group, that is the TGS, for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Addo is part of an 11-member panel assembled to provide advanced technical and technical analysis through the tournament, which will be staged in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Now, the study group is guided by former Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger, who would be overseeing affairs, and they are due to monitor all 104 matches. Now, after securing a historic 8 consecutive FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualification with victory over Uganda, Black Princesses head coach, that is Charles Sampson, says the focus has now shifted to making an impact at the tournament.
They have 2 obligations from the FA. First is to qualify, and the next one is to do well at the World Cup. So now our attention has gone to how to prepare the team and to do well at the World Cup.
That is Charles Sampson. He is the head coach of the Black Princesses, who have secured their 8th qualification to the Under-20 Women's World Cup. Let's finish off with some action in England, where Matthias Tel was the hero and the villain as Tottenham Hotspur drew 1-1 at home against Leeds United on Monday, a result that leaves their Premier League future hanging in the balance. The Frenchman broke the deadlock early in the second half to ease the tension at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but gave away a penalty which Dominic Calvert-Lewin converted to make it a 1-1. And that's all by way of sports here on 3FM Sunrise. There's more on all our socials at 3 Sports GH. My name is Mutala Yakubu. The show continues after this.